we got in here? Yep, there's gonna be a boss. I'm guessing it's not gonna be as tough as the optional bosses we've been fighting. But you never know. Especially if the enemies are any indication, but we should drop a save just to be safe. You know how it is. Bring it on, punk. Is this that fire avatar?
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nate's warned us about, if I had to guess.
Or is this a different
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go!
He's a big boy. Level 47.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone.
But we can't actually attack it as of yet, so it'll probably be a thing where you have to defeat its
Suddenly
minions.
turning tails doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared.
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogle?
Yeah.
Take care of them while
Another
keeping
one
an
of
eye
these.
on it.
Burn!
I'll heal you all.
Going in!
Down on the ground.
Forward flash!
Healing circle.
Healing gale!
Let them march.
Stay calm.
This one's mine.
I shall provide assistance. The fluidity of your movements are simply incredible.
Make it rain!
This ends now.
Consider yourself
Swing!
finished!
Over 100,000 damage.
Make it rain!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Yeah. You're gonna have to do better than that, sir.
We'll just have to keep fighting.
Mega Ray. Leave the enemy's arts to me.
No complaints here!
Reload.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Aha.
Will this help?
You would think fire wouldn't work very well on these guys,
I just let my instincts take over.
but it does. I mean, it would kind of have to. Otherwise, Alphen would pretty much be useless. Ow! That nailed me.
Do you require a hand? Resuscitation!
Resuscitation.
I owe you one.
Here's
Reinforcements incoming!
Not a problem.
You've got a knack for battle.
I still plan on training, though.
That's what I like to hear.
This one's all mine. Easter!
None shall escape my
Heat
darkness.
blade!
A freezing storm.
Heal my weary companion. Cure!
I never miss.
No further!
I could do without this pain. Mirage!
Lunar correction.
Penumbra!
Dating
Annihilation.
There!
Bestow thy mystic
Is this what
mercy.
real pain feels like?
I couldn't make it in time.
Thank you for that.
Just glad to be of
Johalim!
all yours, Kisara.
Obelisk Blade.
View this vanquished soul with light.
You don't see that one very often for some reason.
Not done yet!
Ray.
Their arms were interrupted.
Mirage!
I think the enemy's getting desperate.
Got them where we want them.
Don't take your
Another
hands up.
incantation ruined.
Anything in armor is all mine!
Here's a healing art.
Here.
First
Okay,
aid.
here I go.
It's about to strike.
Look sharp, everyone!
Whoa, that almost one-shotted everybody. Phew.
I can't lose. Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
I owe you one for that.
And just like that,
How are we
I'm back
supposed to
in it.
take on
Start by
something
holding
so
the front
big?
line.
I'll handle
No
it.
sooner said than done.
Watch and learn. That's enough.
Oh, and enough of that crap.
Go back down.
Ooh. Achievement unlocked, Unrelenting Blaze. Well, takes care of that nonsense.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
Dun dun dun. Ooh. Unrelenting Blaze. Is that going to give us our other fire attack? Increase max AG by 1. Yep. Incineration Wave, finally. A swing from the blazing sword that summons a large pillar of fire. Inflicts self-damage when used. I think we can do that with Vacuum Blade. Faster Flaming Edge Charge. Very nice. Flaming Edge Burst. Allows the Flaming Edge to be charged in exchange for greater damage dealt. And increase evasion distance. There you go. Finish that one. Bonus 50 to resistance. Defeated all lights that emerged from the wedge. So I guess there's still more. Faster AG recovery. AG restored from critical hits, and we finished that one. Bonus 30 to elemental attack. Still gotta catch the Silver Marlin. I think you're done with all of yours. Yep. Same with you. You just need Forge Mystic Crest and then uncover the ultimate ingredient, whatever that means. You're done with all yours. You actually have all your titles. Just need to learn them all. Faster Magic Charge. Very nice. Faster AG Recovery. Secret key. The key to a certain door in Calaglia! That door. Simply beholding it makes one wonder what lies beyond the threshold. Now we get Vanquisher of the 4 Lights. Why didn't we get it before? You bastard. Increase max AG by 1. Thunderous Devastation. Ooh, a new aerial art. Finally. I didn't think there were any more. AG2 Lightning. Aerial Strike. A hidden art that begins with a sweeping slash before calling forth a bolt of lightning from the sky with a downward swing. Very nice. Increase down damage. Increase boost gauge from enemy downs. Increase counterattack critical hit rate. We still have almost 5,000 SP left. Bonus 50 to elemental attack. Very good.
Haha! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Stolen Thunder.
So at this point, it's safe to say we've beaten all of those things that we saw flying out of the wedge, yeah?
Yes, there were 4 lights, so that should be all of them now.
They put up a good fight, but we beat them right back down again, huh?
Weren't you even a little scared while we were fighting them?
A little.
But we still managed to beat them with our own hands. That's what matters here.
Yeah, exactly.
I do hope that really is the last we see of them.
Each one seemed to be unique and correspond to a different element. I doubt there are more of them running around out there that we don't know about. Wouldn't you agree?
Why did you look at Dohalim when you said that?
No big reason. I just figured I stole some of his usual thunder by explaining it. I know how much he loves to do that.
You know him well at this point.
I imagine the other three were optional, but who the beep knows? I sure don't. Still got one last title for you to get. Unrelenting Blaze. The flames of rebellion consumed all of Dana, sparing not even the flaming giant itself. Vanquisher of the Four Lights. Indisputable proof of felling some of Dana's mightiest foes. Alphen may have reached the top, but his journey has only just begun. Harry, I've reached the top! He has one more title. I imagine it's story-based, but who the beep knows? Dun dun dun. Thunderous Searing Gale. So we'll put it over this one that does Searing Gale. Makes sense. Makes sense, does it not? Yeah, now Vacuum Blade can do Incineration Wave. How cool is that? Bum ba dum ba dum. Ifrit Malum weakens water resistant to fire. One of the four lights fired out of Lennicus as it launched the wedge. Seemingly a force of fire astral energy, in addition to the fireballs it hurls, it also strikes with its massive body, potentially dealing a fatal blow if it connects. Yeah, I've felt that one. Alright. So this way. Do 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 do. Awakening Pebble. Hex Breaker. Butt Scratcher. Do 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 do. Ah, now where are we? Outer area, apparently. Outer area. Do 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 do. Bum bum bum. Looks like there's a campsite here. And a merchant. Very good.
Hey, is that it over there? I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
Quiet you. If you're having trouble getting back to town, I can lend you a hand. I don't know what you mean by that, sir, but... Gold chunk, 6,000. Iron chunk, 400. Anything new from you, sir? Doesn't look like it. Forward weapon. Now we can make Supreme Flare Claw. Still need a Dark Mane for the carrot. We can Supreme Flare, how we don't really need it, but you want to make it anyway. Sword named for the fire astral energy it holds. A simple swing alone bathes the area around it in sweltering heat. Refined Flare Claw, Rending Titan Fang, and Flamestone, which now we have a bunch of. So it's kind of a thing. But only kind of a thing. Still can't make Farm Fence because we need Blistering Fang. That's too bad. We can make Hanuman Shaft now. Very good. A rod said to belong to a monkey with supernatural powers. In the hands of one lord, it can easily be extended like the legends claim. Mystical Luminicore, Indomitable Gargantua Bone, Paralysis Stinger, and Flamestone. Epic. Supreme Ignis Roar. A gun with a device that infuses bullets with fire astral energy. So hot are the flames it expels, it reduces everything in the line of fire to ash. That's a shame. Refined Ignis Roar, Rending Titan Fang, Flamestone. Yeah. Dun 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 dun. We can make Supreme Flaming Knights, not as good as the Tyrant Fists, but we can make them anyway. Gauntlets outfitted with a distinct fire-producing mechanism, so hot and unrelenting are its flames that some describe it as Hellfire incarnate. Refined Flaming Knights, Indomitable Gargantua Bone, and Flamestone. Yeah. Still can't make this because we need Cursed Claw and Chameleon Hide. Wherever you get those, I have no idea. Dun 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 dun. I need Mysterious Fragment and Regenerative Crystal. Do, 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 do. Most can't imagine making of all to come out on the other side to find this place of heaven.
I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is.
Kind of weird that he's not at the campsite, like he usually is, but... There's that pile of garbage. Woo, woo, woo! Yeah. Alright. Shionne. Hanuman Shaft. Attack up by 4, elemental attack up by 24, penetration up by 6. It's good times in the Mushroom Kingdom. Woo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah. Supreme Ignis Roar, attack up by 32, elemental attack up by 19, penetration up by 20. You damn right. She's got a gun! Damn right she does, man. Supreme Flaming Knight. Waha! Yeah. Bum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Alright. We're ready to rock and roll and such. Oh boy. Here we go!
Alvin?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen that starship before.
This must be the one.
This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Whoa.
3 centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alvin.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell, too.
You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave. We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
Fast travel point added. Do 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 do. There's a camp point. Camp point. I can talk. Outer area. Wow, look at that view. That's some epic sauce right there. Waterfall. The waterfall of wishing. We can camp. We can camp.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shionne and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shionne and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shionne can finally get rid of her thorns. Shionne?
Huh? Yeah.
So party disbanded.
Where'd Shionne go? How could she just go off on her own?
Ah.
She's not over there. Where did she run off to? Shionne.
Dun dun dun, ba-da-bum bum.
Shionne. Shionne! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Rolron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shionne. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And Before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shionne, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first, but ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renis Alma on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
That's too much. It's way too much.
when this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shionne!
Elfin?
Only living for the sake of dying. It's no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Elfin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. We'll fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too.
Shionne, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys.
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shionne is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shionne. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys. You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
Now that was a powerful scene. Bum, 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 bum. The night before takeoff, the party gets to work preparing the lost starship for its first flight in 300 years. In the meantime, Alphen and the others decide to rest and get ready for what's to come, as well as take care of any loose ends they have left remaining on Dana.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shionne is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shionne doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Well, that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shionne in Pelagian. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
I wonder what awaits us on the other side once all of the pieces have been assembled.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shionne's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shionne wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shionne doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shionne what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
Indeed. Let's take back what's been stolen from us.
Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shionne's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shionne's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
It'd be nice if everyone came together to support each other. Indeed.
Did you know?
You mean about Shionne?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her, no matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shionne, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shionne. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is.
Stay focused, Alphen. We've got stuff to do. It's not going to do anyone good if we let ourselves get overwhelmed by what's going on. We can't use fast travel. Like, whatever.
Hey, doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Danans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renins. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too, to think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shionne.
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shionne. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renins, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegis.
Also, I think this is the next to last camping site of the game, I believe. Well, since we didn't get to eat, we might as well rest again. Probably a good idea.
Huh? Why are you staring at me?
Oh, we thought we'd turn the tables and critique your appearance for a change.
It's not fair if we're the only ones subjected to it.
What?
Did you guys hear? Apparently, she found that dress of hers in some old ruins.
Alphen, we haven't heard from you yet. Would you care to tell us your verdict?
Sure, I guess. To be honest, when I first saw Shionne in that dress, I
Quit it!
was absolutely captivated.
Alright, I think that's enough fun for one day.
Whoa. There's a new one, apparently. It's been a while since that's happened. 3 to go.
What do you know? Another big fire monster with nothing better to do than get in our way.
I wonder where the rest of those lights ended up landing. It looked like they were pretty scattered.
Well, whatever they're after, let's just hope none of them are anywhere near a city. An ambush on civilians is the last thing we need.
Well, no rest for the wicked, right? Though with 1 down and 3 to go, it sounds like our headache is just beginning.
I thought you liked the opportunity to flex your muscles.
Against those things? It's not like I have a death wish. Besides, we've already got our hands full saving the world. Dying stupidly won't be much help to the cause.
Yeah, I guess I can't argue with that logic. Sorry.
Obviously, you only get that skid if you beat the fire one first. So it's kind of cool that you can still see it. I like that. Alright. Guess we could make that, the one thingamadigger. Fish steak, since we have the boss fish now. A dish made by brazenly baking a phantom fish. Ostensibly, it's not just about the taste, it's a matter of public safety as well. Takes a boss fish and pepper. Experience boost M. Earn 12% more experience in battle. Like we're not getting enough as it is.
This looks perfect. Guaranteed to hit the spot.
54 minutes, damn.
Well, how's it taste?
The meat is just the right texture and firmness. You can easily taste all of the ingredients that went into it.
I'm impressed you can cut up such a huge fish.
The basic procedure doesn't really change whether a fish is big or small. All it takes is practice.
Still, I feel a little bad eating this fish. It's supposed to be a pretty rare species, isn't it?
I'm the type who fishes for food first and foremost. Once I catch something, I cook it up with care so it doesn't go to waste. Don't worry, I took an imprint of it for posterity before I turned it into steak.
The meat is so thick. It almost reminds me a little of beef.
What's the difference? Isn't it all meat at the end of the day, regardless of where it comes from?
No.
Says the guy who always complains about it not being red meat whenever we have fish.
Look, as long as it tastes good, I don't care what it is.
Even vegetables?
I'm talking about meat!
It looks thick because that's how big the fish was. There's still plenty to go around, so feel free to have more if you want it.
Sure, I'll take another slice.
Better grab it while you can, everyone. Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
Come on, Alphen, you gotta be stronger than that.
I'll take watch tonight. It's okay.
Da, 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 da. Ba, da, ba, da,